Many of us grew up watching the Rose Parade on New Year's Day since we were small children. It was a tradition to watch, followed by the granddaddy of all football games, the Rose Bowl. They both bring back fond memories spending that day with my family. We ate what I was told was traditional New Year's Day fare, pork and sauerkraut, which would bring good luck and progress to the coming year. The parade that started in 1890 by the Valley Hunt Club, it was mostly horse-drawn carriages parading down the main street in Pasadena. 10 years later, a feature film was done on the parade and distributed throughout the United States. 2 years later, in 1902, the first postseason collegiate football game was played between Michigan and Stanford, which is why it is called the granddaddy of the postseason football games. 1912 brought a new tradition to the parade of a flyover sprinkling rose petals from the sky. That tradition continues today, but the flyover is a B-2 stealth bomber. In 1920, the first motorized floats entered, ending the horse-drawn era. And in 1935, the first commercial floats were permitted. It wasn't until 1947 that the first TV broadcast of the parade took place, and it continues to this day. We boarded our bus at Marina del Rey for the half-hour ride to the Rose Bowl grounds. There were many buses in the parking lot as we arrived, and as we departed the bus, we were told to queue up for the entrance into the barns, where they are putting the final touches on some of the floats. Our first peek was trays of flowers staged outside the barn waiting to be placed on the floats. Upon entry to a walkway suspended above the barn floor, we see the storeroom. A small kitchen was available to feed the workers, and artist renderings of the design concept for each float. With a dozen or so floats in the barn, many volunteers were diligently working these last hours to put the final touches on the floats. We boarded our bus around 5:30 in the morning. Traffic was heavy for our trip to Pasadena. As expected, the Goodyear blimp was in attendance, and the equestrian troops were staging below on a Santa Monica freeway. Ohio State fans were well represented, chanting back and forth, O-H-I-O. Antique vehicles transported the Grand Marshal LeVar Burton and other dignitaries. Sit back and enjoy the sights and sounds of the Rose Parade 2022. rocking buses. People rocking buses. People rocking buses. Attending the Rose Parade was a great experience and a whole lot of fun. But now, off to our next adventure.